Hello, welcome. So today we will cover NFS. So what is NFS? So NFS is a network file system or a distributed file system. So basically NFS is used to share a directory on the remote system with respect of file system. What is meaning of that? Means from NFS we can share a directory to any other system, okay, which is on the network, and we share basically a directory with respect of file system. We can't create desired file system in NFS. So there is NFS is an example of NAS. So basically we have SAN, storage area network, and network attached storage. Okay, so there is example of SAN is ISKZ fiber channel, and for NFS NAS we have NFS, network file system. So in so we will see what is the benefit of NFS. So the first benefit is NFS allow local access to remote file. Means whatever directory we will share, we can mount it on our system and then we can access files. Okay, it use standard client server architecture for all files sharing for Linux. So it's use a client server architecture. We will see in demo session. With NFS it is not necessary that both machine run on the same OS. So from NFS we can share a directory with the different flavors of Linux and on Windows as well. With help of NFS we can configure centralized storage solution. Okay, so we can share a directory and we can configure a centralized storage solution. Okay, so no manual refresh needed for new files. So let's suppose if you create a new file in NFS, then there is no need to refresh that particular directory. Whenever you will create a file, instantly it will reflect to the next mounted system. It can be secured with firewalls and Kerberos. Okay, so NFS can be secure with there is a firewall and Kerberos level security we can implement in the NFS. The NFS server package include three facilities, including the port map and NFS util package. So the first is port map. So port map is a basically RPC based services. It's called RPC based services, which is running on 111 port number. Okay, and NFS server, it's translate a remote file system request into request on the local file system. This is a main NFS daemon and RPC mountity. This service is responsible for mounting and unmounting file system. Okay, and the following are the important NFS services. The first one is RPC bind. RPC bind is a remote processor call. There is a remote services, so remote a protocol that one program can be used to request a service from a program located on the other system. Means for example, if you are having some program running on any other server, so from RPC, remote processor call services, you can call that program on your server. That is the RPC based services. NFS log, or we can say an RPC steady, the NFS file locking, implement file lock recovery when NFS server get crashed or reboot. So when your server got reboot, then this NFS lock service will work behind that to keep your file lock. Okay, and your file will not be crashed. NFS ID map, it's translate user and group ID into name and further name into IDs. So whenever you will share a file or directory, there will be a user or group will be assigned. So it's translate that user into id and id into user. Okay, implement important file of nfs configuration. So there is a first file etc export which we will use. This is a main configuration file, and etc fs step to mount the nfs directories permanently. After reboot it will be permanently mounted, and etc sysconfig nfs. This is a configuration file of nfs on which rpc port the services will be listened and everything. Okay, so this is our lab setup. So my server, nfs server, is storage.example.com, ip is 192.168.122.150, CentOS 7 I'm using, and on client side the host name is station20.example.com and the ip is 192.168.122.20 and CentOS I'm using. So let's start a demo session. Okay, so first of all, on the server, this is my server. Okay, so here I will install nfs utils package. So yum install nfs utils. Okay, so this package is going to install. Okay, so now package installed successfully and relevant dependency also installed. Now I will start my nfs service. Okay, so restart nfs server and rpc bind. These two services I need to start on my server side. I will enable this service, so after reboot that service will be active. Okay, so I'm going to share /data folder. I have one /data folder here, so I will share that /data folder. So I will change that permission 777 read write execute complete permission to the all. Okay, now there is a configuration file on the server etc exports. Okay, so here in this file I will mention which directory I need to share with let me /data I want to share on which IP address. If I want to share it for particular IP address, then I can mention that IP address, and if I want to share for a particular network, then I can mention a network in this way, and if I want to share it for everyone, then I can use star, and I want to share it in read write mode sync. So basically sync is for all changes that to the according file system are immediately flushed to the disk. Okay, so whenever you will there is any changes, it will immediately flush to the disk. Okay, and no root squares is something whenever any file created, so on the client system you will get as root kinds of similar permission or access. So let me save this file, and after that I need to share a this directory. So there is a command export fs-r. Sorry, there is something missing in the configuration file. Okay, sync, it's a sync. Okay, now it's successfully. So there is some more option we can use. Let me show you that option. Okay, so there is a export fs-v to display the list of shared directory and export option on server, and export fs-a export all directory listing in etc exports. Export fs-u to unexport one or more directories, and export fs-r to refresh or re-export all directories after modifying etc export. If you modify in entries in etc export, then you can run export fs-r. Okay, and if you are using firewall, then you need to allow these three services in your firewall. Okay, so after that, at client side, now this configuration I'm doing on client side. So client side, I need to install same package on the client side as well. So nfs utils. Okay, so this package is already installed on my system. Okay, client side system. So now there is a command, so show mount -e. So from this command you can query to remote system, I mean nfs server, that with what are the files or directory shared by remote system. So you can see here, so on this remote system, where on this system or server /data shared with star means for complete network, there is no restriction. Okay, so we can mount on this system, we can mount /data. Okay, so there is a command mount 192.168.122.150 remote system IP address, then which file or directory shared by remote system /data, and where we want to mount it, we want to mount it on /mnt data. Already I created /data inside /mnt. So that's it. Now if you run df-h/mnt, so you can see from remote system I shared one directory /data that is mounted on /mnt data, and the size is 17 GB. Okay, so I can go inside /data, data, and here I can create any file. Okay, touch. Okay, so whatever file I created here, so here I shared /data, so you can see on server side here, you can see that same file will be present here. So if you open one of file A, and you will put something in hello hi, and when you will save on the client where the /data was mounted, you can see here, so same data present here. So that is the concept of nfs. Okay, so that's how we can set up nfs. Now after that, we will make a permanent entry in etc fs step. So after see, right now your file system is showing mounted. Okay, but after reboot it will be unmount, so we need to make it permanent. Okay, so let me so in that case, first of all I will mention nfs server IP address and which directory shared by nfs. Okay, and where it's mounted in /mnt data, and the file system type is nfs itself. Okay, and I'm keeping all configuration default. Okay, now let me unmount. Okay, okay, so it's not showing mounted, and you you can see inside mnt/data or whatever file we created, that is not available. But whenever you will run mount-a now, after that you can see, and if that file system is mounted on this location, and further now you can see the files and data. Now it will be present inside that directory. So that is the concept of NFS. Thank you very much.